They think I'm just a crow, black-feathered, beady-eyed, perched on a lamppost like some omen from a children's rhyme. But let me tell you something they don't know. I can count. Not to 2, not even 5. I can count to 8. And I didn't learn it from a book. I learned it from watching you. The story begins in a village that lies between the edge of a birchwood forest and the worn-out tracks of an old railway. Every morning, the same boy appeared. Tan hat, red scarf, a whistle in his step, and bread in his hand. Always 8 pieces, always for the birds. He'd place them one by one along the moss-covered railing near the forest's edge. And then he'd watch, quiet, like a little scientist. I knew what he was doing. He was testing us, seeing how many of us came, how many dared. But I was smarter than the others. I came only after he left. I always counted the bread 1, 2, 3 before I touched a single crumb. Sometimes he left 7, sometimes 9, once only 6. But when it was 8, that's when I knew I was right. 8 was his number. One afternoon I made my move. He had stayed behind that day, hidden behind a pine he thought I wouldn't notice. But crows know things. We remember faces. We remember traps. We remember kindness, too. I called out once, Cole, and the others waited, still silent. I flew down alone. I counted 8. Always 8. I took only 1, left the rest. The boy emerged, stunned. He looked at me like I was no longer just a crow, and I looked back, 'cause I wasn't. I was a mind in feathers. I was a lesson in patience. A mirror, perhaps, of himself. And that was only the beginning. What came next was stranger still. Because once you understand numbers, you begin to see the world not as chaos, but as a kind of music. I was about to learn the melody of survival, played by the fools who thought we didn't listen. The boy stopped coming. Days turned to weeks, and the bread never returned. But the railing remembered. So did I. I waited each morning, then each evening, scanning the horizon where the birchwood met the sky, hoping for that flash of red scarf. But he was gone. And in his place came the man. He wore the same tan hat, but older now, worn at the seams, the way sadness wears on humans. His steps were heavier, his breath slower. Yet he carried bread again, 8 pieces, neatly torn. He didn't watch like the boy once did. No curiosity, no spark, just habit. The ritual of memory, perhaps. I came, of course, not out of hunger, but out of something stranger loyalty. A connection neither of us could name. He didn't hide. He watched me come down, cautious but calm. I counted 8. Always 8. I took 1. He nodded, and the game resumed. But something changed. One morning, there were only 7. I circled twice, thinking perhaps a piece had fallen. It hadn't. I looked at him directly this time, a stare with weight. He looked back, but this time, not with recognition. With challenge. His eyes dared me to react. Would I notice? Would I care? Was I just a clever puppet in his theater of grief? I didn't touch the bread that day. I cawed once. Loud, final, then flew off. And the next day, there were 8 again. That's when I knew. He was testing me, just like the boy. Perhaps it was the boy's father. Perhaps the boy had gone to school, to war, or to sleep forever beneath those birch trees. I'll never know. Humans keep their truths hidden behind skin and sorrow. But I knew something else. He no longer saw a bird. He saw a mind. A match. A rival, maybe. One that could outwit, outwatch, outwait. And so the pieces of bread became something more. A language between species. A silent code etched into the forest's edge. But every code invites a crack. And every crack invites a fall. 'Cause one day the man laid 9, and I made a fatal mistake. 9. A number too full, too generous. It shimmered like a lie. Still I counted twice. Then again a whisper of doubt fluttered beneath my wings. But hunger and pride, those twin tyrants of instinct, stirred within me. I took the first piece. Waited. No consequence. The second, still silence. I took a third. Then snap. The wire curled around my leg like a serpent, cruel and sudden. My wings flared wide, but the pain was sharp and anchoring. Not in fear, not in fear. Fury at my miscalculation. Fury at the man. Fury at the math that failed me. He stepped out from the shadows of the trees, not triumphant, but trembling. The same tan hat, the same eyes. But now they shimmered with something terrible. Regret, you knew, he said, voice thin as paper. I wasn't sure, but you knew. He knelt, closer than ever. I could have clawed him. I didn't. He could have killed me. Didn't. Instead, he opened the trap, gently, as though apologizing with his fingers, and then he stepped back. I didn't fly away. Not yet. I stood, shaking, dignity cracked, pride bleeding. My leg was sore, but I was free. And freedom, as we crows know, often tastes like ashes before air. I left him there, in that clearing, with 8 untouched crumbs and a truth too heavy to carry. He never came back after that, nor did the boy. The railing grew moss again. Seasons passed like whispers. But I remembered always, because we crows do not forget. They say we are scavengers, thieves. Ominous shadows on gray skies. But I say this, we are witnesses. To your kindness, to your cruelty, to your games of numbers and grief. And I still count. Not just bread, but moments. At the weight of each gesture, the risk in every gift. I am a crow. And I can count to 8. But I will never again trust the 9th.